After the release of JAMB results this year, a number of students performed poorly, and this is very normal, especially if this is your first time of sitting for JAMB exam. And I know having a low JAMB score can be really demoralizing, and it may even make you feel like there's no hope this year. But what if I told you that there are ways of going about this whole thing, and there are strategies to be employed to find your way into the university despite having a low score? Welcome to the channel. My name is JAMB, and I'm a first-class graduate of chemical engineering from the University of Uyo. And on this channel, my sole aim is to help you achieve academic excellence. There are 3 strategies I want to share with you on this video, and even if you have a low JAMB score, they will help you gain admission into the university this year. And they are all about maximizing your opportunities so you can gain admission into the university. And the first of them is the strategy of switching departments when you have been offered admission into the school. Or it is a sure way of studying your dream course, but unfortunately it is not practiced in all universities. A few universities practice this, and it is very important that you find out and be sure your school is one of them before going ahead to rely on this strategy. Some schools automatically offer admission to candidates who have met JAMB's threshold and that of the school. So if you meet JAMB's cutoff mark and you meet the school's cutoff mark, automatically you'll be offered admission into the university. But the problem is you may not be offered admission to study that course you really want to study. You may be offered admission to study a different course entirely. And how this strategy works is that you have to work really hard when you gain admission into the university so that at the end of your first session, you would have a very high CGPA. So when you have a very high CGPA, then it is possible now to make transfer or to switch into another department in the same school. So you accept the course that is offered to you by the university, and then in your first year, you work hard, you put in more effort so that you can have a good CGPA that can be worthy enough to enable you to make the transfer or to switch into the department you really want to go into. And I think there's a threshold you have to meet in terms of CGPA that would enable you to be accepted in a particular department in that school. So if at the end of your first year you make up to that required CGPA, then you can go ahead to make the applications to make that transfer into that department you really want to get into. So with schools like this, you can accept the admission irrespective of the course you're being offered, and make adequate plans to perform excellently at the end of your first year so that you can be able to switch into your desired department. But before you accept the admission, you should be very, very sure that your school is one of those schools that allow that. Make proper findings. You can even go to your school and ask different people, just to be sure your school does that, so that it will not be at the end of the day when you finally accept that course, it turns out to be that they are not really practicing that. It will be heartbreaking though. The next strategy is to apply for a change of course after you would have seen your JAMB results. If you have checked your JAMB results, depending on the course you intend to go for, somehow you can tell what you're likely to expect. Although you cannot be 100% precise in your assumptions, but we can say at least that a score like 200 cannot get you into studying medicine and surgery in a public university, that's a federal or a state university. So in a case like this, you can apply for a change of course for a course of a lesser competition. All you have to do is to buy the form and follow the process of getting it done. So with this strategy, you still have the opportunity to choose another course you want to study, but of a lesser competition than the course you originally chose. And it will increase your chance of getting you admitted this year. The next strategy is that of changing your institution. Getting into some schools can be very, very competitive, and many students want to get into the school for various reasons. It could be as a result of the name of the school or the academic records the school has had over time. So these reasons make these schools very competitive, and many students want to study in these schools, thereby making it very, very competitive. So in cases like this, you can opt for a change of institution to a less competitive institution, and thereby increasing your chance of being admitted into the university this year. All it requires is purchasing the form when it is out, and then you just have to follow the procedures, and you definitely be on your way to gaining admission into the university this year. So these 3 strategies will help you maximize the opportunity of gaining admission into the university this year. That is, if you don't want to wait for next year, if you really want to gain admission this year, because there may not be that possibility or that probability of gaining admission to study that course you applied for if you have a low JAMB score. And if you go with any of this, then there's a high tendency that you gain admission into the university this year. All it requires is to make sure you have met JAMB's requirements, and then you would have met the school's requirements. And I think if you have about 200, you are good to go. And I really hope this video helps you. Please do not forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.